Hey guys, even here on the mic and here on the video as well. So before we get to the bodybuilding topics I want to discuss in this video, we have a couple of very interesting ones. I gotta show you what I looked like at the European Championships because I got this HD video and here you can clearly see my physique from all the angles. You can see how conditioned I was. And honestly guys, I was pretty happy with the package. I was really freaking dry. And here is my back. So everybody was wondering what my back looks like, why I don't post it. I mean, it's a, I guess, okay body part for me, for my physique. It's not the best body part, but I definitely did improve it. And I mean, during the prep, I was using a lot of stimulants. Like, nothing crazy, but like, yeah, I wasn't going in the gym without stimulants. Now, after the show, I am not really using a lot of caffeine and stuff like that, but I am using a pump product from the old school labs. It's called Vintage Burst. And I used to use it in the off season when I was trying to bring up my back. And it really helps, with mind to muscle connection. You get a much better pump, much better sensation when you're training. And it doesn't have a lot of caffeine, like almost nothing. So, guys, if you want to try, the link is down below. If you use the code EVAN, you get a 15% discount. And that is the way to support me and my channel. If you want me to keep pumping the content like I do, support me, buy old school lab stuff, use the code EVAN. Thank you, guys. Alright, now, we're gonna talk about the New York Pro that happened last night. The winner, of course, was, in fact, Tonio Burton, like most people expected. Basically, a new Dexter Jackson, I would like to say. Like, that kind of conditioning, that similar kind of 3D effect. Maybe not as perfect structure like Dexter Jackson, but if you talk about the skin structure, the conditioning, and like, the overall, he's not the biggest guy. He's actually the smallest guy here probably, but he's so well packed and he has that crazy conditioning and the maturity and the 3D effect. So like a lot of resemblance of Dexter Jackson, at least for me. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below. However, the guy on his left, Beef Stew, was bigger. He definitely was the biggest guy in this lineup. Once again, he's only 26 years old. And honestly, guys, like, yeah, I definitely think Tony deserved to win this. I do not think Beef Stew was robbed. I mean, this was his pro debut, I believe, placing second at the New York Pro at this high quality of a lineup. Now, these names are not the biggest names in the world right now, but like all these guys brought crazy conditioning. They all looked great. They all looked amazing. And Beef Stew really stood out with his size. If he was a little bit more shredded, he could have beaten Tonio. And as far as like the future, I mean, I can see Tonio being one of the top, 10, 15 guys because of his conditioning, because of the 3D. But like, can I see him being like, top 3, top 5 at the Olympia? I don't know. I don't know if he has the frame for it. Like Dexter didn't have the biggest frame, but I think he was bigger. However, the Beef Stew guy, I mean, this guy is a freaking monster. He has such a big frame. He has so much mass. Somebody wrote a great comment in my comment section in my previous video reminding us of Louis Marco and saying, as Louis Marco would say, he's not out of the oven yet. I don't know how many of you guys are OG fans of this template of YouTube videos. If you watched Louis Marco, you remember that sentence that he used to say quite often when the new guys show up. And this is the perfect situation for that. Like, Beef Stew is not out of the oven yet. Like, he needs to gain that maturity. And I think that sentence is the perfect way to say that phrase, not out of the oven. Once he is out of the oven, once he is baked, once he is conditioned properly, once he has that maturity, the details that, for example, Tonio Burton here has, with his frame, with his structure, with his size, with added more size, which I'm sure he's going to do, I can definitely see this guy getting bigger. I mean, he's 26, guys, 26. So he can definitely grow much more tissue. Look at the freaking... I'm looking at him. I'm not looking at Tonio. Like, I'm impressed with Tonio's conditioning, but my eyes are definitely drawn to Beef Stew, even though he's further away from the camera. So he looks smaller than he would look like if he was closer to the camera. So, I don't know, man. I'm really impressed with this guy's physique. Like, he's really, really massive. And I love to see a freak factor in open bodybuilding. I love to see these guys that look like freaks. And I think there is a bright future ahead of him. I can see this guy being a top 3 Olympian. I definitely can. If everything goes well for him, if he matures properly, if he doesn't ruin his line, his waistline, he doesn't get injured, stuff like that, his health stays in check, yeah, I can definitely see him being one of the top guys. When? That is a good question. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take him. Maybe never, maybe next year, maybe 2, 3 years. Whatever you guys predict about Beef Stew as far as his future at the Olympia, let me know down below. But yeah, Tonio Burton was freaking shredded. Shredded, full, dry, freaking cut to the shreds. Look at this back pose, look at the glutes, how polished he was. Like there was no body fat left on his body, and he peaked really well. Like his conditioning, his dehydration, like he was properly carved up, but really dry. Like there was no water anywhere. So really good peak. His coach is some Mike Courtney guy. I have no idea who he is, but he did a hell of a job with Tonio. And I gotta mention your classic physique winner. I mean, this is my category. I was so impressed when I saw what Michael the Bull brought to this stage. Look at this freaking crispiness, this conditioning. I mean, I'm a conditioning guy. I love to see good conditioning. I don't think a physique is complete unless it is shredded. And I love to see these kind of physiques being awarded, even though it's classic physique. And some of you would argue that maybe it should be more about the lines and about the golden era type of shape. But no, that was maybe the original idea. It evolved. It evolved, guys. Now I think it's more about details, sure, it's about the aesthetics, the flow, the small waist, stuff like that. But when you're looking like this, man, when you have this kind of freak factor in terms of conditioning, you can't lose. And I love to see this. I mean, this is really freaking impressive. Alright, now let's proceed to the other kind of impressive, the size. So you're looking at your current Mr. Olympia champion, Hadi Choopan, and this is him right now. So it's a video. I'm gonna play it in a second. Before I get to that, I gotta say, I said it's Hadi Choopan, like you forgot about him. Like you forgot who is your Mr. Olympia, who is the current bodybuilding champion of the world, because he was so inactive on social media or anywhere, really. However, I gotta give him props in this video right now because he started posting. Like in the past couple of days, we got like 3 physique updates, and this most recent one is showing quite a bit. It's a posing video, so we're gonna go over this posing video. We're gonna analyze it, but before we get to that, let's read the caption of this post. Now, as you can see, it says, "Don't ruin someone for recognition because the future will ruin you." And he tags his supplement sponsor, his coach, his dream is Mr. Olympia, blah blah. So like the caption here is not, I don't know, man, it's not the most eloquent caption ever, but he is trying, and I gotta give him props for that. Because I criticized him before for this, like I know he doesn't speak English, but he can translate his text on Google Translate at least. Or find somebody who speaks English to write him the caption. You know, and he did something here, like he tried. Maybe he's not going to be writing any articles for muscular development anytime soon, but he's trying very hard. Maybe this caption is not winning any best caption awards this year, but like it's a caption and it's honest. It's not like somebody gave him some, I don't know, motivational quote. It's kind of like that, but I'm pretty sure this came out of his head. I'm pretty sure this is product of his brain. And it's in English. That's very important. Like, yeah, he can write in Persian and you can translate it yourself, but I think it's much nicer when you see a Mr. Olympia champion writing in English, because English is the language of the world. Persian is only limited to Persian people. So this is very nice. He's trying. I'm sure he's going to make progress in terms of his English if he tries hard, if he wants to. Big Ramy definitely improved his English quite a lot in his career, and I'm sure Hadi can do that as well. At least enough to write Instagram captions. I think that's a good start for sure. And I can't really imagine him doing any motivational speeches after he wins the Olympia, but yeah, at least doing something is much better than doing nothing. So again, props for that. Now let's take a look at the physique. Usual Hadi Choopan. Like he's a little bit more watery, a little bit chubbier in the off season than he is when he's in his contest prep or when he's on stage. But like, yeah, that's him. Like he didn't really get any bigger. He probably took it easy after the Olympia. He probably had a health phase, because I don't see any progress. I don't think he's bigger than he was in the past off season. But there is one thing, his coach is Hani Rambod, like the best coach in the world. So if Hani thought it would be the best idea for Hadi to go off and clean out and get his health back in check, and we don't know what he's doing right now. He could be like on TRT still and looking like this. We don't know what's the backstory, but he does look very good. And by the time Olympia comes, I'm sure his conditioning and everything is gonna be just perfect. And I'm sure he's gonna peak properly, like he always does, basically. But last year he really nailed it. He came with that crazy fullness, not with super crazy conditioning, but he was super full and lean enough. And I have no doubts that he's gonna be at his best at the Olympia. Is it gonna be enough to beat an improved version of Derek Lunsford or Samson Dauda? I don't think so. I think he's gonna place third behind Samson and Derek, not in any particular order. Or maybe Nick can take out Hadi as well. So third or fourth in my opinion. But who the hell knows? We still have to wait and see what's gonna happen between now and the Olympia. And also we need to see what he looks like on that stage actually compared to the other guys. Maybe it's gonna be a convincing win again like it was last year, who knows? But I wouldn't bet on it. Boom! GoodVito. How impressive is he looking? He's looking more impressive than Hadi Choopan right now. I can't remember what his plan is exactly as far as competition. Did he said? If he did, guys, remind me down below in the comment section. I think he's gonna have a pro debut this year. Not sure at which show, but he did get a pro card last year, and this year we're gonna see him on a pro stage. And honestly, right now in his off season, he looks more impressive than Hadi Choopan for sure. Now we don't know once again what's the backstory, what's Hadi Choopan on. Maybe he's on like TRT once again, and this guy is blasting right now. So it's really not fair to compare. We should compare them when they are on the stage together. But like, you know, frame wise, size wise, especially those legs, man. I mean, look at those freaking legs, and also the small waist compared to those legs, and then the lats popping, the arms, the overall size of this guy. Like he has a lot of mass. And I don't know again which show he's gonna do, but he is like he is similar to, let's say, Beef Stew, and in the same way I can see him being one of the top guys at the Olympia at one point because he has so much muscle, such a great big frame. Once he's out of the oven, once again that phrase, once he's out of the oven, he's gonna be really competitive. I don't want to say unbeatable, but like, you know, you can't really find too many flaws, and he's just really freaking impressive. Anyways, guys, tell me down below in the comment section, what do you think about the future of Vitali or GoodVito right here? Tell me what you think about Hadi Choopan and his English and what he's doing on social media, and also tell me about what are your thoughts about New York Pro results. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe to my channel. If you want to support me, the best way to do that is by trying any of the old school lab supplements. You can try some protein, they have great tasting protein, or you can try some pre-workouts, or I would suggest you Vintage Burst because I think that's great for everybody who's training. Like if you don't want to take a lot of steams, a lot of pre-workouts like the usual ones, just take an reactor, which is Vintage Burst. You're gonna get a good pump, great pump, and a really good mind-to-muscle connection. Just once again, guys, please don't forget to use the code EVEN, and it will help me a lot, me and my channel. So guys, once again, thank you so much for watching.